I'll tell you, but I need to sit down. I'm really tired. You know that my husband drowned.
You told me right after we met.
What I didn't tell you is that I could have saved him. I ran across the bank to the point by the falls, but by then I couldn't even see him.
Why didn't you unload this on me until a long time ago? You have no reason to feel guilty. Look, if you had tried to move through the sort of water that you described, you probably would have drowned too. Carla, I can understand how you might feel guilty. I mean, you were probably hating him in that moment. He'd been drunken, abusive, and finally violent. But I don't think even that could have caused you to withhold help from him deliberately. That would have taken a truly murderous hatred, and I don't think you have that in you. It's all about reaction time, honey. Only race drivers and tennis champions, people like that have split-second reactions. Just the shock alone could have held you or almost anyone momentarily paralyzed.
No. But Neil thinks that I wanted him to drown. And I think that's why he's come back to torment me.
Carly, do you realize what you just said?
Yes. I don't think he drowned. I think he's alive, and I think he's responsible for all this. The phone calls, after the second one, I still thought I was hallucinating, but I called the phone company. They recorded the call. Mike, do you want to hear? I can prove it to you.
I believe you. I believe you. But what I don't believe is that Neil survived that fall over those falls and has been hiding out somewhere ever since. Look, somebody's playing tricks on you. It's not your husband. Hasn't that even occurred to you? I mean, after 4 years, can you even be sure of how his voice sounded? I don't think you can be. Look, I think that somebody who knew him well enough to imitate him fairly accurately is calling you. And it has to be someone who knew about his treatment of you before he went into the river. Who could that be?
Well, I mean, I remember telling the chief of police about the picnic. And then again, I told my mother, so that means that the whole town knows.
So that's why you're going back? Or you're not going to? No matter who it is making these calls, he's most likely dangerous. He's definitely crazy. Marry me, Carla. Right now, marry me. Afterward, if you'd like, we could leave New York, we can leave the country. Remember me telling you about the magazine made me a standing offer for the transfer to the Paris bureau?
Yes, I remember.
I mean, living out there could be pretty expensive, but we'll get by fine, especially if you have the 2 years of college French.
Maybe it won't work. I can't. He could reach me at any place in the world.
Carla, listen to me. Wherever we'd be, I would be your husband. Living with you, protecting you.
Maybe it won't work. I cannot marry you. I'm still married.
Damn it, Carla. Neil Barron's been dead for more than 4 years.
I don't think so. I think he's still alive.
Okay, all right. We'll talk about that later, but if you're going to Arizona, I'm going with you, okay? Look, just postpone your trip for 2 days. I just need to clean up a few things at the office before I can go. I have to arrange a few...
No, I can't. I've already made the arrangements. I'm going to go by myself. The office already knows. Dottie already knows. And whoever's doing this, I want to be face to face with him. And if you're around, they're not going to talk to me.
Carla, I told you this person almost certainly is dangerous.
But if I don't find out what's going on, I most certainly will go crazy. I will lose my mind.
Okay, fine. If you're so determined to do this, I can't stop you. But will you at least stay in touch while you're out there? Will you do that?
Yes. Yes. Mike, that nightmare that I had in Vermont, you knew it was about Neil. How? I didn't tell you about The details of his drowning and the guilt that it left me.
You called out something in a sort of strangled voice when you were half awake. It sounded like knee, but I knew that made no sense. After a while, I figured out that you were calling out Neil. Neil Barron's name.
Baby.
But darling, please take care of yourself, okay?